Hello everyone, we meet again and again. Last time we were talking about Rizal's family, but now we were going to talk about the travels of Jose Rizal. In today's vlog, we will going to take you to different places where Rizal traveled. Yes, you heard it right, dahil papunta pa lang tayo sa exciting part. Cause my team will bring you with them as they travel to different places, different countries where Sal traveled. And now let's check if they're doing great back there. Hello travelers, are you good right there? Are you ready to bring the viewers with you?
Yes.
Wow! Alright, isn't it amazing? Isn't it exciting? Imagine Jose Rizal went to those places, and now you will be able to go to those places as well. Okay, let's all calm down, take a deep breath, because any moment from now, we will going to start. Hi everyone, I am Charibel Galibao and I am here in Madrid, Spain right now. But did you know that before Rizal arrived in Spain, he was able to visit different countries? Let's talk about it. May 1, 1882, when Rizal left Calamba, Rizal stayed in Manila for 2 days before leaving his trip to Spain. Before leaving, he heard the Mass at Santo Domingo Church. On May 3, 1882, Rizal left on board the Spanish steamer ship Salvadora bound to Singapore. When he arrived there, he registered at the Hotel de la Paz. His 2 days stopover was spent by visiting historical places, temples, botanical garden, art galleries, and the statue of Sir Thomas Stamford Raffles. From Singapore, he boarded the Gemna, a French steamer bound for Europe on May 11, 1882. On May 17, 1882, Gemna made stopover at the Point Galye. He noted Point Galye, a seacoast town in southern Ceylon, now Sri Lanka. The next stopover was in Aden, where Rizal saw real camels. From Aden, the Gemna arrived at the port-said city of Suez, the Red Sea terminal of Suez Canal. On June 11, he arrived at Naples, Italy. He was pleased because of its panoramic beauty, like Mount Vesuvius, the castle of St. Elmo, and other historic sites. After the brief stop at Napoli, the ship proceeded to Marseilles and arrived at the French harbor on June 12, 1882. In the afternoon of June 15, Rizal left Marseilles by train bound to Barcelona, and at the June 16, 1882, he finally arrived at Barcelona. While in Barcelona, Rizal wrote a nationalistic essay entitled Amor Patrio, which his first article written in Spain, under the pen name Laong Laan, and was published on August 20, 1882. With unwavering determination, he left Barcelona on November 3, 1882. He enrolled at the Central University of Madrid for the licentiate medicine and philosophy and letters. He also took up lessons in painting and sculptures at the Academy of Fine Arts of San Fernando. Aside his studies, Rizal had the chance to meet Consuelo Ortiga y Perez. He fell in love with Consuelo, but because of Eduardo was courting Consuelo, Rizal did not pursue his feelings. Instead, he made a poem for Consuelo. The poem Miss Consuelo Ortiga y Rey was written in August 22, 1883. On June 21, 1884, he completed his medical course and was conferred the degree of licentiate in medicine by the Universidad Central de Madrid. That made him a full-fledged physician qualified to practice medicine.
Hi everyone, I am Rosette Rizal and I'm here in Paris, Germany. So now we're going to discuss what did Rizal do in Paris, Germany. After completing his studies in Madrid, Rizal went to Paris and Germany to specialize in ophthalmology. He particularly chose this branch of medicine because he wanted to cure his mother's eye ailment. He served as an assistant to the famous oculist of Europe. In Berlin, capital of the unified Germany, he met and befriended several top German scientists, Dr. Theodor Jagor and Dr. Adolf B. Meyer and Dr. Hans Meyer and Rudolf Virchow. His merits as a scientist were recognized by eminent scientists of Europe. Outside of his working hours, Rizal relaxed by visiting his friends such as the family of the Pardo de Taveras, Trinidad, Felix, and Paz. Rizal has no natural aptitude for music, and this he admitted. He only studied music because many of his schoolmates at Ateneo were taking music lessons. In a letter dated November 27, 1878, he told Enrique Lete that he earned the solfeggio and voice culture in 1 month and a half. He was flutist in various impromptu reunions of Filipinos in Paris. Some of his compositions are Aling Manglahi, or means any race, patriotic song which assert that any race aspire for freedom. Rizal ended his stay on June 25, 1886 and wrote a letter to express his gratitude. As well on May 29, 1887, he wrote from Munich to Friedrich Fritz expressing his great gratitude. In July 31, 1886, Rizal wrote his first letter in German to Professor Ferdinand Blumentritt, director of the Ateneo of Leitmeritz, Austria. In his letter, he spent the book he mentioned, entitled Arithmetica, or means arithmetic, published in two languages, Spanish and Tagalog, by the University of Santo Tomas, Press in 1868, authored by Rufino Baltazar Hernandez. Blumentritt was impressed and sent two books to Rizal as gift. This marked the beginning of their lifelong friendship.
Hi everyone, I am Gwen Dinanas and I am here in Germany right now. From the quiet town of Wilhelmsfeld, the prestigious University of Heidelberg, and the bustling city of Berlin, Rizal's time in Germany was filled with knowledge, inspiration, and unforgettable experiences. So, are you ready to walk in footsteps of Rizal? Let's explore Germany through his eyes. One of the first places Rizal fell in love with was Heidelberg. This historic university became the home for several months as he pursued further studies in ophthalmology. He was deeply fascinated by its beauty, so much so that he wrote the famous poem A las Flores de Heidelberg, dedicated to the blue forget-me-nots he saw here. Through his words, we can feel his longing for home while embracing the wonders of a foreign land. Just a short distance from Heidelberg, Rizal stayed in Wilhelmsfeld with Pastor Karl Ulmer and his family. Here he found a peace and inspiration. It was also during this time that he finished writing Noli Me Tangere, the novel that would awaken the Filipino spirit. Today, Wilhelmsfeld continues to honor Rizal's legacy, proving how his journey left a lasting impact, not just in the Philippines but also here in Germany. Berlin was where Rizal's intellectual journey flourished. He met esteemed scholars, became a member of the Anthropological Society, most importantly, saw No Limitang Here finally published in 1887. Imagine, this very city witnessed the birth of a novel that would spark a revolution. From Heidelberg's romantic charm, Wilhelmsfeld, peaceful retreat, and Berlin's intellectual vibrance, Rizal's journey in Germany was a crucial chapter in his life, and today we walk in his footsteps.
In February 3, 1888, Rizal left Manila for Hong Kong on board the Zafiro. Amoy was the first stopover of the ship. He did not get off his ship when it made brief stopover for 3 reasons. First, he was not feeling well. Second, it was raining. And the third one is he heard that the city was dirty. However, he arrived in Hong Kong on February. In Hong Kong, Rizal stayed at Victoria Hotel. He was welcomed by the Filipino residents, including Jose Maria Basa, Balbino Mauricio, and Manuel Irarte. Rizal described Hong Kong on his letter to Blumentritt on February 1688. He described Hong Kong on his letter, which is Hong Kong is a small but very clean city. Many Portuguese, Hindus, Chinese, and Jews live in it. There are some Filipinos who had been exiled in Marianas Islands in 1872. In February 18, Rizal left Hong Kong going to Macau with Basa, boarded the ferry steamer. In Macau, Rizal and Basa stayed at the home of Don Juan Francisco Lecaros, a Filipino gentleman married a Portuguese lady. Rizal visited the theater, casino, cathedral and churches, pagodas, botanical gardens, and bazaars. He also saw the famous grotto of Camões, Portugal's national poet. In February 19, he witnessed a Catholic procession in which the devotees were dressed in blue and purple dresses and were carrying unlighted candles. In February 20, Rizal and Basa returned to Hong Kong, boarded the same ferry.
Hi everyone, I'm Rizal. I'm here in Japan, and now we're going to discuss about life of Rizal in Japan. So let's go. Rizal in Japan, land of cherry blossom, in February 28 to April 13, 1888. Rizal left Hong Kong on board of the Oceanic and American steamer on his way to Japan. Place he went, Yokohama Grand Hotel and Tokyo Hotel. So these are the people he met. Juan Perez Caballero, secretary of the Spanish legation, visited him in the hotel, inviting him to stay in the Spanish legation. Knowing that it is a plot to monitor him, Rizal accepted the offer for the following reason. Reason why he accepted Caballero's proposal. He could economize his living expenses. He had nothing to hide from the prying eyes of the Spanish authorities. He and Caballeros became good friends. Another one is Osei-san, a samurai's daughter of 23 years old and had never experienced true love. Osei-san, her father's a store owner, a woman of beauty, charm, modesty, and intelligence. When Rizal first introduced himself to her, he took off his hat as a sign of respect, a German costume. Osei-san was more than Rizal's girlfriend, for she was his guide, interpreter, and tutor.
She improved his knowledge of the Japanese language. She eases the pain left by Leonor Rivera. Rizal and Ozzy's son are both theater addicts. They attended some kabuki plays such as Sendahagi, Manihiro Nakahama, and Chashimara, kabuki Japanese drama play. And the third he met Teiko Suehiro, a fighting Japanese journalist, novelist, champion of human rights, who was forced by the government to live in Japan. Teiko Suehiro became a member of the Japanese Imperial Diet Parliament, wrote two novels, Nankai no Daiharan, Storm over the South Sea, in 1891 resembling No Limitang Here, and Oo Nabara, The Big Ocean, in 1894 resembling El Filibusterism. And the impression of Rizal, the scenic beauty of the country, the cleanliness, the politeness, and industry of the Japanese people, the picturesque dress and simple charm of the Japanese women. There were few chiefs in Japan. Beggars are rarely seen in the city street. And the old and new names of place where he went is still Tokyo and Yokohama.
Hi everyone, I am Leslie Faye Peña. Today, we're going to explore a fascinating chapter in Philippine history. Our national hero traveled through America. That's right, he didn't just stay in Europe. Rizal also visited in US, and in today's video, we'll follow his journey across America in 1888 and see how this trip influenced his thoughts on freedom and reform. Let's dive into Rizal's adventure across America. In 1888, Jose Rizal, after living in Europe for several years, decided to take a detour before heading back in the Philippines. He embarked on a trip that took him through the United States, especially to California and New York. So let's start with his arrival in San Francisco. Rizal first set foot in San Francisco in May 1888. At that time, the city was booming with economic growth, and it was a melting pot of diverse cultures and nationalities. He was fascinated by how rapidly the city was developing, but more than that, he was drawn to the American ideals of liberty and democracy. While in San Francisco, Rizal marveled at the freedom enjoyed by the American people, especially in comparison to the oppression under Spanish rule in the Philippines. He noticed the spirit of independence and the progress of science and technology, which made him even more determined to fight the reform of his homeland. After spending some time in San Francisco, Rizal continued his journey eastward, making his way to New York City, a major hub of intellectual and political thought at that time. New York was a city of excitement for Rizal, where he encountered a vibrant mix of culture, ideologies, and people. During his short stay, Rizal interacted with various Filipino exiles and intellectuals. This gave him a chance to exchange ideas about the political and social situation in the Philippines and how reform might be possible. While in New York, Rizal also had opportunity to reflect on the American ideals of liberty and freedom. He observed the country's democratic system and its commitment to human rights. This observation would later inspire him to push for similar reforms in the Philippines, believing that education and the promotion of civil liberties were crucial for the country's future. One of the most symbolic experience for Rizal in New York was visiting the Statue of Liberty. To him, the statue was more than just a monument, it represented the very ideals of freedom and independence that he wished to see in the Philippines one day. Rizal's time in America was brief, lasting only about 2 months, but it was incredibly impactful. It gave him a new perspective on liberty, human rights, and the potential for reform. His experience in US fueled his determination to fight for the freedom and rights of the Filipino under Spanish colonial rule. While in US, Rizal took that time to reflect on his own national identity and the need for meaningful change in the Philippines. The American ideals he encountered played a significant role in shaping his thought and later inspired some of the core themes in his writings, like the importance of education and the fight against oppression. Rizal's travels through America may not have been long, but they left a lasting impact on his vision for a better future in the Philippines. He witnessed firsthand the power of freedom and democracy. And these experiences would go on to influence his revolutionary ideas. His observation in the US helped him solidify his belief in the importance of reform and liberty, ideas that he would carry with him and later share with the world through his powerful novels. Rizal's time in America, though often overshadowed by his European experience, was truly of pivotal moments in his journey as a thinker, writer, and revolutionary. Well, that's wrap up our deep dive into Jose Rizal's travel across America. It's amazing how a trip that lasted only a couple of months had such a profound influence on Rizal's thought on his mission for reform. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Drop your thought below. Did you know how Rizal visited in US? What do you think of his reflection on liberty and democracy? Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next vlog. Take care!
Jose Rizal traveled from London to Paris in 1889. So he lived here from 1888 to March 1889. He studied Antonio de Morga's book on Philippine history to work on his annotations of Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas. He wrote articles for La Solidaridad. Had a romance with Gertrude Beckett. Rizal participated in 1889 Exposition Universal. He founded societies with other Filipinos expatriates. Paris published his annotated edition of Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas. Fronted the proofs of the Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas with the original book in the British Museum.
Hi everyone, I am Masayo Silasil and I'm here in Belgium right now. This country played a major role in Rizal's journey, so I'm here to tell you why. So number 1, life in Brussels, financial struggle, and focus on writing. Before moving to Ghent, Rizal lived in Brazil's Belgium, but life wasn't easy for him. He struggled financially, often skipping meals and living very simple to save money. Despite this, Rizal stayed focused on his mission. He spent most of his time writing sending letters to friends, writing articles for La Solidaridad, and revising his novel El Filibusterismo. Belgium was a peaceful place which allowed to him to concentrate on his work. But even though he was busy with his writing, Rizal still found time for something unexpected love. So number 2, Romance with Petite Suzanne Jacobi. During his stay in Brussels, Rizal lived in the boarding house of Jacobi's sisters, and there he met Petite Suzanne Jacobi, one of the nieces of his landladies. Susan developed deep feelings for Rizal, and when he left Belgium, she wrote letters to him to express how much she missed him. She even said she didn't eat the chocolate he gave her, hoping he would return. However, Rizal was completely focused on his work for the Philippines. He never returned to Belgium or to Susan. This shows us how much Rizal sacrificed even personal happiness for his country. Number 3. Move to Ghent, finding a cheaper place to publish. Due to financial struggle, Rizal decided to leave Brazil and move to Ghent, Belgium where printing was cheaper. He lived in a small, inexpensive boarding house while trying to find a way to publish his novel.
Hi everyone, I'm Christine Joysapong and today we're taking you to Belgium, one of the most important places where Rizal lived and worked. This country played a major role in his journey, and we're here to tell you why. Now let's talk about one of Rizal's most important achievements in Belgium. Rizal had been working on El Filibusterismo since 1887, writing and revising parts of it in different countries. But in Belgium, he was finally able to complete it. On March 29, 1891, he finished the manuscript in Biarritz, France. However, due to financial difficulties, he had trouble publishing it. That's why he moved to Ghent, Belgium, where printing was cheaper. Thanks to the help of his friend Valentin Ventura, Rizal was finally able to publish El Filibusterismo in September 1891. Unlike Noli Me Tangere, which had hope and love, El Fili was much darker, focusing on revenge, hatred, and the painful consequences of oppression. It was Rizal's way of showing Filipinos the harsh reality of Spanish colonial rule. Even while in Belgium, Rizal continued writing articles for La Solidaridad, a newspaper that called for reforms in the Philippines. He used his writings to expose the injustices of the Spanish government and advocate for the rights of Filipinos. His work in Belgium, writing novels, publishing political articles, and sacrificing personal happiness showed his dedication to his country's freedom. So, there you have it. Results stay in Belgium. Bye!
Hi everyone, I am Stephanie Ambaroga and we are here in the Philippines. So, did you know that Rizal decided to leave Europe to avoid the worsening rift between the Rizalistas and Pilaristas and to help maintain unity among Filipinos? After staying for some time in Hong Kong, where Rizal practiced his medicine and planned for a new Calamba by relocating landless Filipinos in the Borneo, Rizal decided to come home to the Philippines in June 1892. Rizal arrived in Manila on June 26, 1892 and returned again on July 3. So when he visited Malacanang Palace, Governor General Despujol showed him alleged evidence of submissive materials found in Lucia's pillowcase, his sister. So Rizal tried to prove their innocence, but were not accepted and was arrested. Rizal was then sentenced to exile in Dapitan, which brought him to his destination on July 17, 1892. The reason why Jose Rizal wants to go back in Manila was to confer Governor General Despujol regarding his colonization project to establish La Liga Filipina to prove that Eduardo de Lete was wrong in attacking him in Madrid, that he, being comfortable and secure in Hong Kong, had abandoned the country's cause. On December 30, 1896, Dr. Jose Rizal was executed by firing squad in Bagumbayan Field, known today as the Rizal Park in Manila, for the crime of rebellion.
Honor! Carguen! Apunten! Consumatum est! Fuego!